Hello everyone, welcome to The Geekdom, a place where we outcasts get to come and talk about the things we love, and today we're talking DC Comics. I'm bringing to you another custom CMF series around sort of the younger members of the DC Comics, like Young Justice and Teen Titans. But before we get into the video today, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who watched my previous Teen Titans Tower video, because that's blown up way more than I thought it would, and I'm just so thankful for everyone who watched it. Now without further ado, let's get into the figures, because this is one of the best series I've done in a long time. Okay, so if you have seen my Titans Tower video, which you definitely should do, it's really good, you will have seen that I've done one version of Kid Flash, but alas, there is another, Mr. Wallace West, the new Kid Flash. Now this figure is pretty much the same as the one from LEGO DC Supervillains. It's pretty much the same figure, but I love it. I think it's come out really great. He's got all that great detailing on his legs and his arms, and especially with that new mask mold piece, just like the one in my Titans Tower video. This combines Wallace's hair with the sort of like half mask going around his head. He's got a totally new face print. His arms have some of that weird like lightning detail leading into his red gloves. The same applies to the legs there. He's got that kind of jagged lightning details on the dual molded legs there. He has a red and white Flash emblem on his chest, and then that it's just kind of like a plain yellow chest, to be honest, but it has that sort of red detailing towards the bottom, which leads on into the trousers there. Not too complicated a figure, but definitely one of my favorites. It looks great. It looks like the kind of thing LEGO would produce. I'm very proud of it, and it stands great next to my other Wally West. Next up, we have a very popular Teen Titan and a figure that LEGO has only ever done once, and that is Beast Boy, Gar Logan himself. This is one of his more classic appearances, the red and white suit, as we've seen done by the Titans TV show and all the way through the comic books. As you can see there, he's got the dual molded legs, both red and white, with that sort of white underwear detailing towards the top there. He has a belt section in the middle with the little red square in it. I don't know what that is, I'm just going off the comics here. He's got some really nice printing on his arms with that sort of like triangular pauldron section, and then that weird sort of wrist brace section. He's got green hands and a green head with a kind of cute expression. He's got a little fang on his mouth there to kind of show his more beastly side, and he uses that really great Han Solo hair in green there, like a dark green, just to contrast the skin a little bit. And I think this figure looks great. I think he looks ripped straight from the comics, and I'm really happy to have him in my Teen Titans collection. Next on the more super side of this figure list is John Kent's Superman, my personal favourite Superman. I know the DC fans are going to come after me for saying that, but I just think he's really great. I love John Kent, and I love the design on this figure. I love how the S section of his chest connects to his arms, and that weird sort of red shoulder piece, and how that connects to the capes in the comics. I went for the newer Mandalorian cape here because I like the kind of shorter on the sides but straight. I think it looks really good, and the emblem there, you might recognize the sort of design from the Lex Luthor super suit. I love the emblem there, so I've just kind of applied that to this design slightly. He's got his iconic giant yellow belt there with that sort of like red button piece in the middle. I really wanted to make this character as complicated as possible, but there's not a great deal I could do. So he's just got red and blue dual molded legs. I wanted to give him some detailing. There's literally nothing I could do, so we've just gone for the dual molded legs. His arms are about as detailed as they can get. He's just got some of those, once again, triangular shaped red pauldron sections on his shoulders there. That's about it really. He's got some spiky hair in black, and he's got like a smirking expression, because I like my John Kent to be kind of fun. The next of the Super Sons that we have is Connor Kent, Superboy. I love this guy. This guy is one of my favourite superheroes. He's just so fun, and to make him was just such a pleasure. I've kind of combined a bunch of different versions here. Most of him is ripped straight from his earlier appearances, his more classic comic book, but his jacket is more ripped from the current run of Superboy comics. Just because I love all the Superman logos all over it, and that just makes me really happy. So I've applied that here. He's got those weird looking round sunglasses on his face there. He's got the dog walker hair in black. His leather jacket is just kind of a very simple design. I just used some like leather jacket assets from other Lego minifigures, and underneath you can see his Superboy costume with those reds, those blues, and all the belts and patches and stuff all over the suit, which just makes this thing so iconic. The legs aren't dual molded, I know, shocker, I love my dual molded figures, but the printing on his feet makes the boots there. It's black and yellow because it's got those straps and stuff, and he's got straps going around his right leg as well. On his arm you can see the Superman logo, and the same goes on the back, just because I just think it looks awesome and I just had to include it. This figure, probably one of my favourites in this series. Next up is for the Bat Family minifigures, and you guys can complain as much as you want. I think there needs to be more Bat Family minifigures, so here we go. First up we have the Three Jokers Red Hood, my favourite Red Hood outfit. I think this guy looks amazing. I love the fact that it's kind of like a Robin costume with a leather jacket and a helmet and stuff. I think it looks really, really cool. Starting off, he has two head prints. He has the helmet for Red Hood, and he has his masked version instead. He once again uses the dog walker hair in black. It's probably my favorite hairpiece to use. I just think it applies so well to so many different figures. On his torso you can see it's just got that leather jacket over a sort of Robin-esque sort of suit. He's got a belt with the R on it there, and he has those sort of straps in silver that are on all the Robin costumes. His hips have some printing on there, just a continuation of the Robin suit underneath, and his legs are just chock full of printing with a bunch of lines and different details, especially on the boots, which are done in a metallic colour with some red accents as well. Love the way this Red Hood turns out. We need way more Jason Todd in Lego minifigures. Next up is a personal favourite of mine, and that is Stephanie Brown's Batgirl. I love this character. Whether you know her as Spoiler or Batgirl, it doesn't matter. We can all agree that she just has one of the coolest costumes in the Bat family. I love the use of purple and black on this character. As you can see there, on her legs it's dual molded because I love my dual molds, and it's just got a bunch of printing all over there with a bunch of lines and stuff, because I was having a look at some of the Batgirl's comic books and it's just full of like lines and indents in this costume, so I did as much as I could. She's also got the Lego Batman movie Batman belt there in a purple, which is, I don't believe that colour has been used on this belt yet, because I like using the more extended belt sections on these figures. I think it looks really cool. Her torso has that giant bat logo on there in like a dark pink sort of colour, but it's bordered with like a dark purple as well, much like a lot of the other pink sections on this figure. The arms have very little printing. It's just a little pink box to continue onto the gloves. She once again uses a Mandalorian cape, but in pink this time. So many assets on this figures have not been used by Lego yet, and I love using such weird colours like pink and stuff because we just never get to see it in Lego. The main attraction of this figure is the crazy custom mask piece. It starts off with a combination of a scarf piece, a kind of Iconic and Crux Time Twins mask, and a Hermione Granger hairpiece. I think it looks really cool. I just combined all of these assets, messed with some colours, had a bit of moulding of myself, and it just came out with this really cool looking Batgirl mask, which I think really captures the essence of Stephanie Brown. I love that it has the hair hanging out and the different colours of black and pink. I just think it looks brilliant and really makes this figure stand out in this series. The penultimate figure in this list is Damian Wayne. Now, we already have had a Damian Wayne before. We've had one of his costumes, the more iconic colours of a Robin costume, but this is his current suit, his black and grey and red one, which is my personal favourite Damian Wayne costume. This thing is just full of prints. I love this guy so much. He uses the midi legs with a ton of printing on there. Sadly, on the render, it's kind of covered by his waist cape. It's the first time I think I've ever used a waist cape on a figure, and it's pretty cool. I like the way it's looked, but he's got boots there with red, grey, green prints all over. This guy is full of colour, and that's why I love him so much. His torso is as accurate as I can get it. He's got that really nice looking Robin emblem, and the suit is nicely sectioned off by that red and that black. I think it looks really, really cool. The belt is there with that sort of green D on the midsection there. I think that looks really, really great. His arms, not that detailed, but they really stand out because of how black they are compared to the rest of this very grey functioned minifigure. He's got these like red triangle sections, as we've seen on a lot of other figures, except these aren't filled in. It's more of like an outline of a red thing there, and he's got those red blocks like we've seen on Stephanie Brown and stuff, just blocks leading into gloves, because I just think that looks really, really cool. He's got a new cape. I know what you're thinking, that just looks like the straight cape in yellow. It's not, it's the straight cape but it's one side is yellow, one side is black, to be as accurate as possible to the comics. I mean, it hasn't really shown up in the render, but there's a better picture of it coming, don't you worry. He has a Robin mask in green. This is just the other Damian Wayne mask, like the face print, but with some green textures on it. I'm pretty sure that's the Robin mask I used, and he just has that quiffed hair in black. I think this figure, oh, it might be my favorite in the series. It might be one of my favorites I've done in a long, long time. I think he looks really, really good. Turned out brilliantly. The final figure on this list is my favorite all-time DC character. And I know this might be a hot take, but we have Tim Drake, the third Robin, who is just by far my favorite. All the way back to childhood, Tim Drake has always been my favorite. I think he's come out really great here. I've done my favorite costume of his, which is his more current costume. He's got some really great printing all over this guy. His legs aren't dual molded, but they do have printing on the front with that sort of green armored accents there. He uses the Lego Batman movie belt in yellow, just like the ones we saw in that wave of sets. He has some very basic torso print, but I was looking at the suit and it has very basic designs on it, so I thought, hell, might as well do it. I love the really angular Robin logo. I love the sort of armored look of the red there. And I love all the homages it plays to the original Robin costume with those yellow straps there. I think it looks really great. The arm printing's come out great. He's got some green armor on his shoulders, and he has some wrist gauntlets as well. He has hands in green, and he has that same cape we saw on Damian with the black outside and the yellow inside, just to kind of change it up a bit. I wanted to have something new for this figure, and I love the way this cape turned out. He has a rather large black Robin mask on there with a very angry expression, and you guessed it, once again, the dog walker hair in black. I love this figure. I now believe I've made a figure for every single one of the Robins at least twice, I think. I'm not sure about Damian, but I'm just so happy. I love the Robins way too much, and I love making DC figures. These guys are going to look so great next to Titan's Tower. I will probably make some pictures of those and put them up on the Instagram. The link will be in the description below if you want to go and follow that. I really hope you have enjoyed this video today. If you have, tell me what your favorite figure was down below and what you want me to do next. I always love hearing your suggestions. Anyway, I really hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. See you later, everyone.